This is the Earl child.
Miss Hand, if you will, please give us an update on how things are going with Ivy in her adoption placement and what kind of the timeline looks like.
Of course. She's doing really, really well. I couldn't ask for a better placement for her. They're all very well bonded. She's meeting, all her milestones, actually doing really well. I was surprised she was riding around a little scooter the first time I visited with them, and I'm like, oh, she's two, and she's hand-eye coordination, very, very, very good. As far as the adoption timeline, we're moving along pretty quickly, so I'm hoping soon.
Have there been sibling visits with Carlisle?
So Miss Moore has been reaching out to Logan, Carlisle's father. She has actually been trying to coordinate a visit, and due to his schedule, it's been unable. So I've suggested maybe some virtual visits. So they're working on that. But as far as I know, there hasn't been any visitation due to his schedule.
But they are at least they're communicating and trying to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Has there been any visits with the grandmother?
No.
Is there anything that you need from the court today to keep this case moving quickly?
No, ma'am.
I don't have any other questions.
Mr. Cooley, any question, Ms. Hand?
No, I just want to clarify. When you say the grandmother, Miss Razor, are you talking about Sheila Macera?
I'm sorry, yes, whoever that placement
Okay.
was.
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of fictive kin. And yeah, in my understanding, was kind of that both the Moores and the Faughts, they just didn't feel that was in the best interest of either child. I'm sure it could happen some in the future, but there's not an effort being made, is my understanding. But otherwise, Judge Mabry, same report as Ms. Hand. Everything is progressing. Ivy's doing great, and the siblings did see each other in April, but that's the last visit. But as Ms. Hand said, Ms. Moore and Mr. Faught are trying to make visits happen. They're certainly, acting in the spirit of the court's order in that regard.
Do y'all believe that? I mean, y'all think that really is happening?
Yes.
Okay.
I do too, Judge.
Okay. Well, and it's kind of a two-way street with Miss Macera. If she wants to reach out, I mean, she could reach out too, I mean,
True.
If I was wanting visits, I'd probably be hounding on somebody's door, So,
right. And she may be. I have not been in touch with Ms. Macera. I'm happy to contact her if you think that's important and you'd like to know.
No, I think that ball's in her court. She can, I mean, they know where you are,
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Okay, Costa, anything y'all want to say?
Yes, this is Karen. Hi. I will say that I think Miss Macera did attempt to have some visits, but whenever she would show up, there was some backsliding, especially with Carlisle. I don't know of anything with Ivy in that regard, but then that they were kind of holding off for now for visits with Carlisle per se. But I will say, in agreement with Ivy in regards to her bonding and all of her meeting all of her milestones. So we're in agreement with all that as well.
Okay, good. Okay, Ms. Hand, maybe we could encourage them to do adoption day.
Yes, ma'am.
I think sounds like that's going to be about the correct time for all that.
I agree.
Okay, so I'm just going to say everything continue other than Miss Chandler is going to be substituted for Mr. Cooley, because he's definitely not going to be around for our next hearing, which is going to be on 11/3. Adoption day, I believe, is 11/8. So that it's whatever that Saturday is. I checked it around football games, Mr. Cooley, and I think that's away Florida, maybe. I can't remember
We have a bye that week, Your Honor, so there's not even a game.
on the 8th.
Excellent job.
On the 8th?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I always check that, but I couldn't remember. I knew it was good.
Mine
Okay.
kicked me off earlier. Oh, sorry, Judge.
What do you need, Miss Milloway? You're not on this case, so.
No, ma'am. I went to hit okay on something and I hit unmute. My apologies.
Okay, so Kayla Chandler substituted for Scott Cooley. Next hearing 11/3. Everything else continue. Encourage adoption day. Let's see, she'd have a good time.
And Ms. Moore is aware of that as well, and she sort of said that they're shooting for that loosely, and she thinks that that's when it would probably happen as well.
Perfect. And they're in Hayes County, so it's burning. That's not far. So, yay. Okay, good news. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
See y'all. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Francis is next. Is Miss Melissa McClure here? Yes. Matt, I saw Matt somewhere. Matt, and let's see.
Camille, we got a little blow up on our case. I'm sending you an email.
On this one?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You're sending me an email or Melissa?
Camille, on a private case we have.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank goodness. We don't want any blow ups. Okay, Miss Dowdle, y'all need to show your face.
Judge, I have Jess here with me. The internet in here is not the best this morning.
Okay. Yeah, I think Jenna said we're having problems in Llano too. So, but we always have problems in Llano.
I have Starlink and I don't have a problem.
Oh, well, yeah, but you do sometimes when we don't. So, bully for you. Okay.
Hey, but hey, we can fly a helicopter on Mars. I mean, that's so much more important than everybody having high-speed internet. Flying a helicopter around a dead planet. Let's spend our money on that, but not internet. I digress.
As you do.
As I do.
That's okay. Okay. Well, let's see. What time is it? 9. Oh, we'll wait one more minute. Everybody's supposed to be on it 10 minutes early. Is Mr. Francis coming? Do we know?
Judge, I emailed him and I have not heard from him, but that is not unusual. He's not the most communicative person.
I'm sure you let him know about that.
Judge, I'm shocked that you would be able to predict that about me. Yeah, we didn't get along at first until we had a moment together and we expressed feelings with one another, and now we get along reasonably well.
Now everything's good in the hood, huh?
It's difficult for me to use feelings and words like that.
Well, maybe because you're getting old, you'll be learning differently. Okay.
It's funny you brought that up. I'm very close with my uncle, and and he's about 23, 24 years older than I am. And I recall about 25 years ago when he would have been in his 50s and telling me that he was getting soft as he got older. And I'd laugh at him, and I find myself getting softer as I get older. And I'm embarrassed about it, actually.
Well, maybe it's because that cop stuff is sort of wearing off on you. We're going away. You're forgetting about those days.
That is exactly correct. That is, I don't miss the not ever sleeping and working midnights.
Yeah. And, risking your life, but that's part of the deal.
I don't want to sound silly, but a lot of that's overrated. You'd be shocked at the amount of secretarial, quote unquote, style work that being a detective was. There were days I never even brought my gun to the office.
We got to do right reports.
In fact, I lost my gun for a while. I'd left it in the glove box of a car, and the maintenance people took that police car to go get the oil changed. And so it was missing for a little while, but we found it.
Did you get in trouble for that?
No. Nobody really said anything about that.
Oh.
There were just 14 detectives looking for a missing department issued handgun for a while.
Forget about other high crimes.
No, we had important things like that. And then we had to stop at Luby's for lunch, of course, because we got half off.
Duh. I wish I could stop at Libby's for lunch all the time. My fate have carrot and raisin salad. Yum. Emily said that she is in a hearing, but she should be here pretty soon. Now we'll wait 3 more minutes. Well, what's next? We're almost gone. What time is it set at? 9:30. Okay. Oh, we're just going to begin. Okay, cause number 23115 in the interest of Francis Child. Everybody's going to testify. Please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? I also didn't get a cost report in time, so I don't know anything from CASA. So what I did read in the CPS report that I didn't know is that Zoe's home. Did not know that.
There's no CASA on this one.
Oh,
Melissa,
that's right. It's Emily. That's right. I forgot. Thank you. I'm just used to having CASA. That's right. So what went down, how that happened, etc.
Zoe did well. She completed Blue Bonnet Trails and was moved back to the home July 18th. Things have been going great. Ron and Ashley both expressed that they would like to wanted to return and have this case closed down. They said that Zoe is here to stay.
Back up, Miss Mystic. I can hear you. Ron said he wants the case closed, that Zoe is home to stay.
Yes, ma'am.
they've expressed that they're just ready to have CPS out of their lives and just to have some normalcy.
When did she get back? Like July 25th or something?
July 18th.
Okay. And is she in school?
School starts back this Thursday for Copper's Cove ISD. So I'm gonna go to the registrar's office either today or tomorrow and get her fully enrolled.
How's she getting along with the littles?
But she's getting along great with the littles. No typical sibling things.
She running around in her underwear, skimpy underwear anymore?
No, ma'am.
So y'all think Blue Bonnet Trails helped?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Before we get to the Atlantis, Mr. Grove, Miss Dowdle, what do y'all think about that?
Well, Judge, I think it'd be fantastic if I had a client who happened to have a lawyer that wasn't sending him bills every month that would communicate with me. Those are my thoughts on the issue.
Okay, Miss Dowdle.
Judge, I haven't had a chance to visit with my client concerning this development, but I would anticipate that would be something she would be happy about.
Well, and kind of like if you don't communicate, you get what you get, you know? So, okay, Miss McClure. Yeah.
I'm not opposed to closing the case. I certainly think that that's where we're headed. I think I would feel a little comfortable staying in until we know she's in school and that we don't have any problems with school. You know, no major things. I'm not saying 6 months, but maybe like 2 months.
I had a thought go through my mind and then it went away. Miss Mystic, have you told him that things have changed? Well, maybe not since the beginning of this case, but that CPS can't just come take kids because parents want them to take. Oh, here he is, Mr. Grove. And somebody named Michelle Shields, but that's not mom.
The miracles never cease, Your Honor.
That's right. That's right. But anyway, have you talked to him about removing if things aren't going well, Miss Mystic?
Yes, ma'am. We have talked about that.
Mr. Francis, you need to unmute yourself and show your face. Mr. Okay. Mr. Francis, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? need to unmute yourself. Okay, he does. Mr. Francis, why do you want this case to close?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, why do you want this case to close?
I feel like I put in the work. We're getting along. We're done everything that we've needed to do. It's been plenty of time. You know, I got my other kids back. We're all moving forward, and I just think that I'm able to do what the courts wanted me and meet my daughter's needs.
How is she doing in the home?
It's a little difficult. She's a teenager, but she's doing all right. She's right here. But she's doing all right. You know, it's a little difficult. She's a little opinionated, but she's been away for 2 years, you know, so, but other than that, we're getting along.
Is she going to the same school that she was going to when this case began, or is it a different school?
No, she's in the high school now.
Okay.
We got the Copper Stove High School. It's right down the street.
What school district were y'all in? Were y'all in Lampasas School District when this case began?
When it began, yes, we were in the Lampasas School District.
And now y'all are in Cove?
Yeah, well, then she went to Copper Cove when she's in foster care.
Okay.
And we registered her in Copper Cove when she had been here for that couple of weeks or whatever.
Okay.
And then, but yeah, it started off in Lancaster. She's in Copper Cove now.
Okay. Okay.
Judge, may I just say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
I believe, so I know that Ms. Mystic stated that the parents want a monitored return, but it is actually the department's position that we would prefer to just dismiss the case and close it out.
Well, we don't do a monitor return on a PMC case because we don't have the timelines anymore.
Just wanted to make sure that the department was out there.
Yeah. Okay.
So provided Mr. Francis, and we'll double check to make sure he has that information. We also provided him with a respite program that they can utilize without CPS if, you know, they need a break or if they need some extra crisis intervention. They can reach out to those people.
You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm just going to recess this hearing 9/8. That's, well, let me tell you, that's our next day, and then we can get her, see if she's enrolled, blah, blah, blah. And then if we don't need a hearing, let me talk to Miss Miller.
Yes.
Miss Miller, bottom line, Mr. Francis in the department want out. Miss McClure wants to stay in a little bit longer. I'm just recessing this hearing until 9/8 to make sure we get Zoe in school, blah, blah, blah. And then at that time, and then we don't, recess it, but if everything's going well, then y'all ad litem's in the department can talk, and then Miss Razor could just send a non-suit.
Okay, I think that'd be great. I think education is at the top of my list. I can understand why everybody is wanting what they want, and I think I'd be fine with that.
Okay. Miss McClure, would that be okay with you?
Absolutely, Judge.
Okay. Okay, I'm just going to say recess to 9/8/25 for school. I'll just say compliance. That's not really the word I mean, but that's what I'm thinking of. If all okay, these are official lawyer words. If all okay, case to be closed on 9/8/25 and all released. Okay, well, good. Well, we'll just, Ms. Razor, just do a recess order. That's all we need.
Yes, ma'am.
We don't need to put that other stuff in there. Those are just my docket notes, but sounds like everything's going well. Mr. Francis, keep doing what the department says. And, you know, if y'all, whenever, if everybody gets together and decides it's time, it doesn't have to be 9/8, it can be 9/6, 9/1. Y'all make a plan and we'll go from there. That's the best news all day.
All right.
Okay, well, yeah, tell Zoe hi, and we hope we don't see you on the 8th, and we wish you all the best of luck. Thank you.
My goodness.
Zoe, good luck. Sounds like y'all have a good plan.
Okay.
Okey doke. Pictures of Ramos Ghana children. The whole truth, nothing but the truth. So if you got it.
Yes.
And get a CASA report. So I don't know about from CASA. The three youngest ones are up, in Washington. Let's see. Aspen is at a shelter in Austin at LifeWorks. I was wondering about settlement home. Let's see. They're working on getting the adoption stuff done, and Aspen said lovely things about her mother, but that wasn't a surprise. So I'm glad she's not near her. So Miss Reader, that's what I have. Y'all may begin, please.
Thank you. Miss Thompson, let's start with the little girls. How are they doing?
They're doing great. In Washington, since the last hearing, it's been we've worked to get all their medical records and therapy records. We've gotten almost everything back, but essentially all of their medical needs are being met. Their educational needs are being met. They all, the ones that need their active IEPs in place, have them. And while I haven't gotten all of their therapy records back, I have spoken with the majority of their therapists who report that they're doing well and that the adoptive parents are completely compliant with their therapeutic needs. The girls do have extensive therapeutic needs, so that'll just be something that's ongoing for a very long time based on everything they've been through.
Were the three youngers tested for, have the testing done for the multiple sclerosis and autism genes to figure that out?
So their Aunt Michelle let me know that they were tested for multiple sclerosis gene, that they're carriers for it, but none of them like actively have it. And then the only, I think, individual that there was concern for autism was Maria. I did get her autism report back. She was diagnosed and she's receiving treatment for that.
Has tutoring for the younger girls been arranged?
We'll be working on that as the school year starts. We worked with a nonprofit and with CASA to get them all in summer camp. So they've been in summer camp off and on all summer. I think the two just came back like last week, Thursday or Friday. I think Haley just left for a summer camp is my understanding. And I have spoken with Kate and Gwen about getting tutoring set up for them once the school year starts.
Right. So let's talk about what's happening with Aspen. Tell us how she went from Michelle and Corey's to the shelter. Sorry.
Yes, there's a significant updates about Aspen, including some I wasn't able to get to the team on Friday. But essentially, she was with Corey and Michelle. They were doing a phenomenal job meeting all of her needs. And she was doing well in the home, but she told me she started thinking about her mom, old boyfriends, and she began running away. She said she was trying to run away to get to Houston. And, similar, unfortunately, to previous placements, she, her runaway behaviors were just not safe for them to continue keeping her in the home. And she verbally stated, I believe, she did not want to be in their home anymore, not for any reasons related to their care of her, but I think she had a goal of trying to slowly make her way to Houston.
And where do Michelle and Corey live?
They live in Lampasas.
Okay. What have Michelle and Corey stated, at least as far as their willingness to remain in Aspen's life and placement and those things?
Yes, they are completely committed to Aspen. They have followed up with me on an ongoing basis since she's not been placed in their home. And even it was discussed that, if her runaway behaviors, if those are managed and controlled, that they would be an ongoing, placement for her. So really, she has permanency. It's the runaway behaviors are just, they just aren't able to manage those in their home. And no placement's been able to, really.
Okay, and so since Aspen wanted to leave, she was then placed at LifeWorks?
Yes, it was she had run away the night before, so it was the same day move. We found a placement for her in LifeWorks. We have subsequently secured another placement for her that's at a facility where she was successful.
Okay, and where is that placement?
That is New Life in Canyon Lake.
Okay. Now, tell us then what was the most recent updates and the troubling stuff that's happened since kind of since your court report was sent out.
Yes, the most recent update occurred on Friday. Aspen left New Life, and on, I believe, a Wednesday, she did not return back until Friday. She returned back crying. She stated that, so some friends from the shelter said they were all together. They asked Aspen to return back to the shelter with them, and she did not do so. She walked off on her own, saying she needed to be alone. She then told New Life upon returning 2 days later that she says 3 men took her off of the street and abused her and held her against her will. She was hospitalized on Friday. I saw her in the hospital on Friday. At this time, the most recent update I have is that she's refusing a SANE exam. She's refusing an STI exam. She's refusing really to talk with anybody at this point in time. I'm trying to get back out to see her as soon as I can. I know she did say she wanted to spend more time with me and speak with me. But that's the most recent update we have. And I will say also regarding the placement at New Life, New Life is willing to accept Aspen, but if we go out to the placement and she tells them verbally, I don't want to be here, they said that I would have to take her back with me. So
okay,
those are the most recent updates.
Okay, where did Aspen say that she was taken from? What city was she in?
Austin, Texas.
Okay. And since based on Aspen's kind of history, there's probably a good chance she's going to say she doesn't want to be there. What do you guys have in mind, or how will you find placement for her at that time?
Yeah, so actually, based on Aspen's history, at least on the 3 years that I've been the caseworker, I've never physically gotten to any placement with Aspen, and she's refused. She accepts every time she's physically there. But obviously her behaviors have increased over the past couple months, so I don't know, what will happen this time. Settlement Home stated that they could potentially be, they could consider being a placement option if we have a meeting with them, because they are in Austin, Texas, and they vocalized concerns about their placement location in regards to her running history. And then I've also referred her for an out-of-state CSC search. She was successful from March 2024 to September 2024 in an out-of-state placement. Her level of care went from intense to moderate in a very short time because the placement was secure. And so I have asked the placement team to consider that placement as well if we are not successful with New Life.
And has Aspen's level of care been reviewed, and is it now back at intense?
My understanding is that when I looked back in June, I think it's June through September, she's at specialized. So she hasn't raised to intense yet.
And there was a previous discussions that the department wanted to revisit the judge's prohibition on any placement in Houston. Is that still something the department would like?
The most recent update that I have is that was something the department wanted to do.
Okay, and can you please explain, why?
My understanding is that the department wants just to ensure that there's as many placement options as available within the state of Texas for Aspen as can be made available.
Okay, and does the department believe that necessity outweighs the fact that all of Aspen's family, her boyfriend, all of those people live in Houston?
What I believe that the department would want to do, what we've been doing, is speaking individually with each potential placement to develop the most secure safety plan that we can for her at any placement she's at. So that would certainly continue with any placements in that area.
Are there any orders that you need from the court today?
No, not at this time.
I have no further questions.
Anybody have any questions, Ms. Thompson,
I do.
Ms. Bennett?
As to the three little ones, and I apologize, my voice, are we ready to finalize their adoption?
Me speaking very freely, I would love to finalize their adoption. They're doing so well in their placement. I last spoke with Haley last week because the other two girls were at camp, but that's their home as far as they are concerned. They miss Texas, but that's their home. They are being very well cared for there. And their adoptive parents are completely committed to them. Yeah.
So is there anything else that needs to be done other than their attorney setting a hearing? I mean, is there still paperwork or something that isn't done, or is everything ready to go?
I would begin working on like the adoptive placement paperwork. I would have to go out and fly out to Washington to do the adoptive placement, but from my knowledge, that's all that's needed.
Okay. And I asked Michelle to come, Michelle's back on here to explain, but I'm not sure who said that she had MS, but that's not what she has. She has spinal muscular atrophy. She doesn't have MS.
Yes, Michelle also told me that as well. Yeah.
Okay. And so I don't know if all the girls really need to be tested for MS or not, since that's not what Michelle had. But Michelle said that the three younger girls were tested for the spinal muscular atrophy. And they're, like you said earlier, they're carriers, but they don't have it. I just know I was reading the last court order to see like what were the barriers to being able to finish this case. Anyway. And then I guess as to Aspen, I mean, what type of placement do you think would help her be successful?
From an evidence-based perspective, because that's really all I have to go off of when I'm looking at her placement log. She, at New Life, she was there for about 3 months. She only ran away once and she didn't run away again. And then, the out-of-state placement, again, just from an evidence-based perspective, it was a secure placement and she was there from March 2024 to September and did not run away and engaged in therapy, and her level of care went down. So those two placements. Mm-hmm.
And is her mom still running around Houston too?
I don't know for a fact, but I know that when she was there, that law enforcement and an individual at a residence in Pasadena confirmed that her mother was there. So
okay, all right. I pass the witness, Judge.
Anybody else have any questions, Ms. Thompson? Okay. Next witness, Ms. Razor.
No further witnesses.
Okay. Ms. Thompson, have you talked to the placement in Washington about maybe doing it via Zoom on adoption day?
I haven't, but I can. We talk all the time, so I can certainly discuss that with them.
We've done that before, and they've, I did it from ladies that some of y'all know that were in South Carolina on I think it was a Burnett case. I think I don't know if Miss Bennett, no, Miss Potts was on that one, but anyway, we've done it before, and they ship the gifts up there to them. I mean, they don't get like a big old cookie pizza, but they get everything else. So, I mean, and we can do it on Zoom in the courtroom if they would like to do that. That's always just something to think about. So be sure, I think it's November 8th, Saturday. So Aspen was in the Canyon Lake area, but ended up in Austin.
No, Aspen was with her aunt and uncle, Michelle and Corey, and then she ran away from their home and said she didn't want to stay in their home anymore. And so we had to place her in the emergency shelter in Austin. Canyon Lake is saying they'll accept her now for a placement because she's been placed with them before and she overall did well there. She only ran away one time.
Oh, she
And
wasn't there when all this happened.
Correct, yes.
Okay, I thought she was there and, okay. Um. Okay. And the girls that she ran off with were those Lampasas girls?
No, so she was actually she ran off on her own when she was in Lampasas. She just ran away. And then when she ran away in Austin, she was actually with two friends who were at the shelter because the shelter, is like open door. And they went back by curfew. They told Aspen, hey, it's curfew. It's time to go back to the shelter. And Aspen walked away and said she needed to be by herself. And then, this was something that she did on her own.
Okay, so those girls don't know anything about this.
Correct. Yes.
When you saw her, was she beat up or anything?
She wasn't. She had on a long sleeve shirt and she had on long pants. I'll just be very honest. She wasn't beat up. I didn't see any marks or bruises on her. There may have been some. My concern as her caseworker was that she had on a brand new pair of Air Jordan shoes. And I certainly did not get those from her. She did not have them when we left Michelle and Corey's house. And I know LifeWorks did not get those for her. When I got her when everything happened in Houston, she had a brand new cell phone. So that's my concern is where are all these things coming from?
Right. Is she on birth control?
She's not.
Well, we need to put her on birth control. What do you call it? The thing in your arm?
The implant.
I think she needs to be an implant. Or something, not a pill because she's, not around. Miss Sanchez, what do you think about that?
Definitely agree with the birth control.
Okay. Miss Bennett, do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. That was a sigh, but I think you need to agree.
No, I'm just, oh my goodness, Aspen.
Where is she right now?
Yes, right now she's at LifeWorks. I'm sure as soon as I get off of the court hearing, they're going to have me complete all the placement paperwork for New Life. And if they accept her today, I'm sure as long as everyone's in agreement, I'll be taking her there today.
Okay. She's not in school?
No, she's not.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I like New Life. I mean, I think that's a good idea. Okay. Anybody else have any questions, Ms. Thompson? Okay. Ms. Reeser, next witness. No more?
No further witnesses.
Okay. Ms. Sanchez, what do you think?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Ms. Tamadong, you need to mute yourself. Ms. Tamadong, okay, go on. Ms. Sanchez?
Aspen, I picked her up the night she ran away in Lampasas. Her heart is set to get to Houston. I think New Life is going to be another temporary stop. I would think it's in the best interest of Aspen to be placed out of state. And so she can receive that care where she thrived, especially with school. She did really well in Arkansas. The three littles in Washington had a fantastic summer. They attended veterinary assistant camp, called it adventure camp, which was outdoors overnight, a soccer camp, canoeing and kayak, and they've had a great year. Just a few parenting resources that we're going to talk with the parents at family group conference for adoption to be set.
Do you have any concerns that the foster moms up there need anything else about the girls' medical, because it seems like we've talked about that a bunch of times.
They're discussing braces a lot. I believe everyone's working on that. That's been the biggest medical obstacle is getting financing for those braces. Other than that, I think all their medical needs have been met.
Well, welcome to being like that in Texas too, you know?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
no different.
I mean, did you tell them that we have that difficulty down here all the time?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, good. Okay, maybe they have better insurance type stuff up there in Washington. Who knows? You know, they're kind of I think they're kind of social worky, kind of liberally state. So maybe they're better than that than Texas is. So I don't know that for sure. Never been there. That's just what I think. So okay, that's good information. Miss Bennett, your turn. What's up?
Yes. So I am so sad about Aspen when she was in Lampasas and uh, Michelle and Corey were thinking they were going to have to put their notice in. I went and got her and took her out to eat and to Walmart and got her some stuff. And we had a long talk about, where, if you can't make it work here, where do you think you're going to end up and all this? And then, I mean, it wasn't like 2 days and she ran away again. So I don't know, but I would like to see her in I guess, a placement that's, I don't know if it has to be secure or not, but some kind of placement where she'll actually be successful. I think she has a lot of stuff that she needs to work through that she clearly hasn't yet.
Miss Bennett, Miss Sanchez, do y'all still, I mean, last time I said no placement in Houston. Do y'all still agree with that?
Absolutely. I don't believe she needs to be in Houston at all.
Okay, I don't either.
The only placement I would be okay with in Houston is if it's like a secure facility that she can't run away or run out. Because she has told me a lot of stories about her mom running around Houston, and it just seems to cause a lot of
I
problems.
don't know. I think it was in Miss Thompson's report that her parents were trafficking her. I mean, why am I going to put her back in that area?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that lady that she was that foster mom was really busting it to try to do well by her, and that all went to hell.
Yeah.
I think she ran around with, if I remember correct, like a 24-year-old man and blah, 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 bad stuff. So, okay, well, I'm just going to say court orders, Aspen on birth control, placement is agreed by ad litem's.
That's fine. And then as to the younger ones, Your Honor, they wrote letters for me to give to you. I can send them to you or whatever, but anyway, Rosalina's letter just says, "Can I please be adopted? Thank you, River." And
okay, go on.
And Maria's letter, it's a lot more, it's a lot longer. It says, "Dear Honor, I am ready to be done with this problem that has been for most of my life. I want it to be gone forever. I love my family and want to know that I have a home to stay. Please, thank you, my honor, so much that I appreciate you a lot. I want all of this out of my life. I have had to deal with for 1 to 3 years. Thank you, Sky."
Well,
Anyway.
tell them we want the same thing.
Yes. Anyway, my recommendation is that we finish the adoption on the 3 younger ones as soon as we can. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else in the way. They already have an attorney. I think she was just waiting to get the green light that everything's ready to go.
Yeah, Miss Bennett is attorney down here or up there?
It's Natalie Fowler.
Oh,
okay. I'll tell them about adoption day though.
Yeah. I mean, I would do it then, but I mean, if not, whatever. So yeah, tell Miss Fowler about that.
I just think mentally they'll make more progress once they're adopted because then they won't have to stress about being moved again. They've been through some really stressful stuff when they've been moved before, and they really need that for their mental health, I think.
Well, if we have a date, and we say it's a party and it's fun, it's going to be on Zoom and maybe
I think that'll help.
That would at least, have some peace of mind, and we'll be sending y'all gifts and blah, blah, blah. I mean, because, if you just do it on a regular day, you don't get all the gifts and stuff like we do on adoption day,
Right.
And they could dress up at home and, have a little party at home. They could be superheroes at home like we are in the courtroom. That would be fun.
Yeah, I will definitely let them know, and their attorney.
Okay. Well, the orders are Aspen on birth control placement as agreed by CPS and headline items. We'll come back on October 6th and see where we are. If we need to have a quicker hearing on Aspen, y'all just let us know and we'll set one. But I think 2 months is good, and then we'll know what's going on. Okay, y'all need anything else? Order about no Houston stands, and you can tell her that's me, not y'all. I can be the bad guy. Unless y'all agree, and y'all know I'm not real keen on out of state either, but I'll leave that up to y'all. I don't like it, but I think they're a little bit more secure than they are here, but if they're not, that could be scary too, if out of state placement, y'all be sure and go online and look up some stuff and look up the security and all that, because I would hate for one of our kids to be MIA up there in Arkansas or somewhere. So we need to have a hearing on that. I'm happy to have a hearing on that. Okay, well, good reports. Let's make a good plan for sure for the littles. Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank y'all. See you later. Not yet. Okay, Adam Trejo, Joanne, and Juanita. I don't know who that is.
Placement.
Michael McGuffey. That's not today.
I thought
Michael
It's the
McGuffey.
next case.
it's at 10.
McGuffey
Yes.
is today.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I did not pull that file, so y'all are going to have to help me on that one. Okay, who is San Juanita? That's not Joanne San Miguel.
Placement.
She's the placement, Your Honor, the grandmother.
Case.
Olivia on
It's Lynn
Trejo, Tamadog Trejo.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on just a second. April Kinship, Stacy Campbell, Brittany McGee, Miss Tamadong. Myra. Okay, so left in the waiting room is only the okay, so this is cause number 23500 in the interest of Trejo children. Everybody's going to testify. Please raise your hand. Let me find the parents. Where's the dad? He was here. Y'all see the dad? There he is.
They're
Okay.
both here, Judge, and they have their hands up.
Confirm the testimony you're about to give, be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay, Ken Baird, who's that?
Your Honor, that's the new cost advocate on the McGuffey case. So
Okay.
not this one, but next.
Okay, just remind me in a minute. Okay, Trejo, the kids have been staying at the parents for a while on the weekends, doing well. They got a new apartment, got some bunk beds. They paid a little bit of child support to grandma. But things are going well. It's what I got off the report. So Miss Razor, you may begin, please.
Thank you. Miss Spicer, did Leilani provide proof of her 2024 tax return?
I did not receive anything.
Okay. Do you know if she contacted the Attorney General regarding her tax return and to see if it was garnished and for what case?
I'm unsure.
Hold
on, I didn't hear the answer. What was that?
I'm unsure.
Okay.
Has either parent paid child support since June, to your knowledge?
From my knowledge, when I talked to Mom last month, she showed me screenshots of her paying some to her attorney. When I talked to Dad last month, he told me he did not make any payments yet.
And do you know how much the payment was from Mom?
I'm not sure because it didn't show the exact amount.
Okay. Did the parents have the kids for 1 week time periods in June and July?
Yes.
And how did those visits go?
They went well. I know there was a concern. Costa sent us a screenshot of the kids playing outside without their parents involved, outside watching them. So I talked to the parents about water safety and just safety in general of leaving them outside without anyone watching them. But other than that, the kids had a great time. Caregivers told me that there was no issues when they came back from the visits.
And did they have their August visit?
No, not yet.
Where is the department at in terms of the monitored return and if it should start?
We believe that there should be a monitor return because there's no safety concerns at this moment.
Okay. Is the only thing that they have not done is paying the child support they've been ordered to pay?
Yes.
And do you have dates been even discussed as far as when the monitored return would start?
No.
Do you need anything from the court today?
No.
I have no further questions.
Anybody have any questions of Ms. Spicer? Okay, no? Next witness, Ms. Razor?
No other witnesses.
Okay, thank you. Ms. San Miguel, any witnesses?
Yes, I'd like to call my client.
Okay, please.
Ms. Tamadong?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you heard that there was some screenshots that you showed between you and I with some payments. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so I have a list of payments that you sent me. And is it fair to say almost on a weekly basis, you've been sending money to my Cash App to then send over to the attorney ad litem?
That's correct.
Okay. And so I show that when you started that was on June 11th. Does that sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the most recent one, I think last Tuesday, I apologize. I actually just noticed it was sitting there in the Cash App, so needed to be withdrawn to send over.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So from June 11th through last week, you've sent payments, and these have been ranging from $100, $80, $50.
Correct.
Okay. And so have you kept a running total of how much money you've given me?
I can look, but yes.
Okay. You double check for me, but I'm showing $505 in 7 increments. Like 7 transactions totaling $505. Does that sound correct?
It's probably right.
Okay.
To be honest, I can't pull it up right now.
All right, but if you send them to me, and there's a way that you can double check as well, right, on your end?
Yeah,
and
you said
on my
yes.
side? Okay.
Yes, you are right.
Okay, all right. And you understand it takes some time to transition from that to hit a bank and then to get a check and then to get in contact with the ad litem to get it transferred over. So there may be some delay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And other than that, is there anything else that that's been an issue?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And are you asking the court to grant a monitored return to start immediately? Because I think school maybe just started on Friday.
Yes, ma'am. We also got the kids' shoes. I sent you receipts of the shoes that we got them as well.
Okay. Okay.
But yes, we are ready whenever the judge and you guys make that decision.
Are they currently enrolled in Lampasas schools, and so there wouldn't be any transition, or is there anything you would need to do to get them into the Lampasas?
The only thing we put them, well, the grandma put them in Lomita because we didn't know until after court or whatever. Everybody was going to make that decision because we thought it would be just easier for the grandma.
Okay, are you wanting them in the Lomita schools or Lampasas schools?
Well, if we get the mono return, we wanted to have them here in Lampasas, but since the placement right now where the kids is in Lomita, so that's why we thought it would be easier, so the grandma wouldn't have to drive all the way to Lampasas and back in the mornings.
Okay, but there's only been like 1 day of school or a partial day of school.
Correct.
For this year.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be much loss. Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions, Ms. Tamadon?
No further questions.
Okay, nobody else? Ms. Bennett, any questions?
No questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see. Next witness, Ms. San Miguel.
No other witnesses.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Dowdle, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Atkins, I read y'all's report. Sounds like Ms. Reeser addressed some of y'all's concerns in your report. What else would y'all like to add?
The biggest concern
You're cutting out.
I had was
Can y'all hear
with
everything you're saying?
the safety of the kids being outside with just teenagers watching them. It's a busy street. I just want to make sure that they're safe and don't wander out of the yard. Let me say it again. My biggest concern is safety with them being on a busy street, and frozen.
Can't hear. Can y'all hear?
It's sporadic that we can hear.
Maybe turn your video off. See if that helps. I had to do that Friday.
Turn my video off.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you right this second. Yes.
Okay.
Talk fast.
I will talk fast. My concern is with the kids being outside playing and adult supervision not being out there. Hopefully that they will see that. She's frozen again. No, she's not. My other concern was about child support, but Ms. San Miguel answered that question that I had on that. I think we should start a monitored return and let the parents be parents.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Atkins. Anybody have any questions of CASA? No? Okay, Ms. Bennett, what do you think?
So
and
my
talk about child support too, because I want to know where we are on that.
Okay, so my plan was to go out this weekend to see them at their parents' house, but I ended up sick all weekend, so I didn't go. But I called and talked on the phone to the placement just to kind of get an update. And anyway, it seems like everything's going really well. I don't have any issues with starting a monitored return. The Lampasas school started on Friday, so this is just the second day of school. And I think Lomita school maybe starts tomorrow. So wherever they're going to be, we need to, figure it out and get them there. I believe that mom has been sending some child support payments to Miss San Miguel. I don't think that I have gotten those or that grandma has gotten those, but Joanne and I can come up with a day this week where I can meet her and grab that and mail it to grandma.
Well, why is the money going to Miss San Miguel instead of you?
I think the mom was saying that it was too difficult for her to set up a time to meet with us or to mail it or anything.
And Deanne picked up one check before she left, and then we had talked about picking up another one, and then no one's come by yet. But we'll figure it out to get it there.
Yeah, I'll gather up everything that's been paid and I'll mail it.
Miss Bennett, do you have an arrearage amount?
I mean, I have the arrearages from last time.
Yeah.
You had calculated up and
$32.50.
Right, for dad, and it was like $32.10 for mom, and we did receive one payment in June, like Miss San Miguel said, and then I think the rest Miss San Miguel has. But I absolutely believe her if she has that much money, so I would credit, that amount also.
What amount, Miss San Miguel, are you telling me you have again?
I have 505. I mean, I got the exact dates. Or June 11th was 100, June 18th, 100, June 27th, 80, July 2nd, 80, July 11th, 45, July 28th, 50, and last Tuesday, 50.
505.
Yeah, 505.
Do you have that? Where is that?
A Cash App. I have like a transaction list that I just emailed to Natalie, but I can email that to you or whomever, to the department. I guess let me email it to everybody.
Ms. Dowd, what has your client done?
Your Honor, to my knowledge, unless he tells me otherwise, to my knowledge, I don't think he's made any payments. I think that he has, I think he's trying to help pay the bills. I mean, I would ask that, I have no objection, obviously, to the court entering some kind of judgment or having some kind of payout judgment. But I would ask that the monitor return not be held up simply because they hadn't paid their child support timely.
So, Ms. Bennett, if our last hearing was 6/9/25, okay, and the dad at that time owed $3,250. So, assuming that included the June payment, that would mean $3,750, $500 more, correct?
Yes.
And that would mean $3,740 for the mother. Not because you don't have that other money. I mean, you don't have $505, correct?
I don't have it in my hand, but I mean, I would give her credit for it if Miss San Miguel has it. I'll make sure I get it this week.
The amount of the first check that we gave her, and so I would have to deduct that amount from this for the remainder.
Let's see. And Mr. Trejo made one child support payment on June 18th, it looks like.
How much?
I'm trying to see.
You're on.
Yes. Yes.
I talked
Cutting out.
to Grandma the placement on over the weekend. I talked to Grandma over the weekend, and she said, maybe we need to move closer to the, anyway. Grandma said she got $100 from Mom and $75 from Dad.
Okay, well, y'all need to figure that out. But as of right now, I have Dad's in arrears $3,750, Mom's in arrears $3,740. And nobody got any income tax. Nobody complied with the prior order about income tax refund or to contact the DOJ's office and report by 7/1/25. So this child support is going to continue. Each parent is to pay $100 per month, beginning 8/15/25, payable to Miss Bennett. I don't care. The kids go to school in Lampasas. Kids go to school in Lampasas. Miss Bennett's office is in Lampasas. And then it's payable to the former placement. And we're going to do an arrearage judgment when we get done with this case. So, Ms. Razor, we're not going to just non-suit. So get ready for that. I don't know how, I think we've ever done that before, but we get to have something the Attorney General's office can enforce this because this is ridiculous. I'll begin the monitor return. The children are not to be left outside unsupervised. If they are, that could be grounds for a immediate disrupted monitor return without a hearing. Let's see, our new court dates are 10/6, a permanency hearing, 10/8 is a permanency hearing, 1/12/26 is a final trial, and our new dismissal date is 2/7/26. As of right now, parents, you still have to comply with your service plan or your parental rights can be subject to termination. CPS, CASA, Ms. Bennett, now that we're in a monitor return, they're going to be out at y'all's house. They're going to be checking things out a lot. So probably, I think it's weekly. So get ready for that.
Judge, could I ask some clarification, please?
Mm-hmm.
You said they're going to pay $100 a month child support. Is that towards the arrearage?
Yes.
Okay. And one more clarification. I heard 10/6 and 10/8. I must have misheard something.
I'm sorry, 10/6 and 12/8.
Okay.
And then 1/12.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else have any questions or anything? Okay, well, I'll do a scheduling order later, but those are our dates, and that child support is to continue, and if y'all don't want the Attorney General's office to have to enforce it or take your income tax returns or whatever, your income tax refunds, I'd get it paid. So whenever Ms. Spicer can get the transfer done, y'all, of the children and the paperwork done, the kids can go back to the parents. Okay, everybody good?
I'll try to do it today if everyone can do it.
Okay. Okay, good luck. Thank y'all. Good news. Bye.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. In the interest of the McGuffey child. Okay, this is our first perm hearing. And Braxton's at the at Pegasus. That's a good place. I've always liked Pegasus. I think it's a good place. It's a good program. He's doing well. The parents are working on their deals, and we just need Braxton to do his plan and go from there. So that's what I have. Ms. Reaser, you may begin, please.
Thank you. Ms. Campbell, can you give us an update on the parents' marital situation if they filed for divorce?
My understanding is they have filed for divorce. I am not sure what the status of that is. I know at one point they were talking about an agreement, but they may have changed their mind since then. I'm not exactly sure.
And can you give us an update on how Brittany's been doing on her plan?
So Brittany has been recently started counseling with Miss Lane. She went a couple of weeks, my understanding was, and then Miss Lane was out for a little bit and she started back in. So they're getting that back started. The psychological evaluation was completed on Miss McGuffey. And I believe I got that back on Thursday. I haven't had a chance to review it yet and send it forward, but I think I received it on Thursday.
And how has she been going and visiting Braxton at Pegasus?
Yes, ma'am.
How is Michael doing on his service plan?
He is receiving counseling along with the children through Starry, and he is also receiving some parenting assistance and maybe like planning and management through St. Francis. And he reports that he's really appreciating that. He has also completed his psychological evaluation. And I want to say I got it Friday. I'm not exactly sure. I was on the road when both of those things came in, so I wasn't sure if I got it or not.
Has Braxton still been having some behavioral issues at Pegasus?
Yes, ma'am. I met with Braxton on the 25th of August, and he had been, that week he had been pretty good. And, you know, him and I talked about things, and he had told me that he was going to try really hard to stay focused and stay on task. And then last, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday, I got a notice that he had 5 write-ups in one day. And it's small stuff, but it's the rules. And so I'm not sure, you know, where he's at with that. He was supposed to be progressing to phase 2. I'm not sure if those write-ups have stopped him from doing that yet or not.
And back on July 10th, he got in a situation. He hit a pier with a rock. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But no criminal charges are being filed?
Yeah, they're not being filed.
And has Braxton made some more disclosures about sexual abuse?
Not since the one in April. I think he like rehashed the same incident, and they did not pursue any action on that.
Is continued placement in Pegasus the appropriate place for Braxton at this time?
At this time, yes.
What do you need, if anything, from the court today on this case?
I think that I don't have anything specific. We are trying to get Braxton a little bit more counseling. He is only getting counseling once a month individually and twice weekly on a group. So we are trying to get the program to try to assist us with that.
Would it help if there was a court order for that?
I'm not sure. It may. I'm not sure how Pegasus will respond to that.
I have no further questions.
What does your contract say about counseling? That's ridiculous.
I have no idea what the contract says. It just says that they are provided with intensive behavior modification therapy, and that's what he's getting is 1 time a month individually.
So I'm there for a year, but basically I have counseling 12 times.
Yes, ma'am.
How often does he have group?
Twice a week.
Judge Casey and I have talked about this.
Oh, hold on just a second. Hold on. Okay, go on. Ms. Milloway, you were saying something?
Yes, ma'am. Like you said, Pegasus traditionally is a great placement for these types of situations. It's unfortunate that they are not providing more therapy. I think when Stacy asked them about it, they said that's all they could manage at this point. So it sounds like it's a staffing issue, like a lot of places with counselors. But Stacy has even tried to or is talking about looking into other therapists, maybe outside of Pegasus, if there's a way to get him there, if the agency will agree to transport him. I don't know with staffing issues if they'll even be able to do that, but yes, it is definitely something that is not like them. So if we want this program to be successful for him, he's going to need more therapy.
Well, I'm going to order it, so we'll put that in a court order and we'll see what happens. I mean, that, y'all need to really talk to y'all's licensing people or whoever does contracts about that, because that's horrible. Not y'all's fault, but I mean, they're getting paid. I mean, it's sort of like when we were paying on a case we had earlier this morning, we were paying a new NH place for okay, help me. Not QRTP. Was it QRTP? Yeah. QRTP, isn't that the word? Higher counseling stuff, and I wasn't really thinking she was getting any higher counseling stuff. And I'm sure we're paying a lot of money for Braxton's therapy and not getting it. And that's ridiculous. I mean, they're pocketing it. I mean, whether they have any, it's a staffing issue, that's cool. I mean, if I was them, I'd probably keep doing the same because they're getting the same amount of money, whether they have the staff or they don't have the staff. And that's not right. Wrong. So, okay, I got it in order. What else, Ms. Reeser?
I have nothing further.
Okay. Miss Miss San Miguel.
Yes, just so the court knows, I'm also signed on to for the divorce. I can give an update on that, or I can ask my client questions on that. But quickly, the divorce has been filed, a waiver has been filed, the final decree is done, and we just need to set an appointment with the two of them to go over it, either before or after the permanency conference on the 18th.
Good. Thank you. Good news. Mr. Glass?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Casa? Mr. Baird, anything you'd like to add?
No, ma'am, not at this time.
Okay, well, when you go out there, you might want to tell them, that he needs to have some more counseling, okay?
Definitely. We did make a visit last Wednesday, which was July 30th.
Okay. Well, and it's going to be in the court order, so if you want to take the court order with you, that might not be a bad idea.
Absolutely.
and report back to Miss Campbell. Let them know what kind of blah, blah, blah they tell you about it. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Cooley.
I was just going to call Mr. Baird. He and I just spoke and got to introduce ourselves to each other to get a rundown on how the visit went. I think that Ms. Campbell mentioned that they're not serious issues. And my concern when I talked to Mr. Baird was, are you getting the impression that they're at their wits' end with Braxton and maybe he's not long for this program? And he said no, that's not the impression he got. He's fairly early on in the program, relatively speaking, and so he needs to do better. But thankfully, Mr. Baird can, of course, chime in if he'd like, but he did not get the impression that Braxton was on extremely thin ice as far as participation in the program goes.
Good. But he needs to learn to play by the rules and, all that. And I mean, he's probably just doing dumb kid stuff, but still, sometimes you can only push that too far. Mr. Cooley, the thing that advocacy center would not let you go to.
That was for the forensic interview. Yes, ma'am. That
was dealing with Braxton being a victim, correct?
That is correct.
And I know you had, about to pull, I was gonna say you're about to pull your hair out, but that's pretty funny, isn't it?
Yeah, very funny, Judge.
I didn't mean it that way, but I mean, I was very upset. You were very upset. It just made no sense to me. Whatever came of all that?
You know what? I would have to ask Ms. Campbell. I remember that day wanting to get a transcript, but not feeling like they did one. And so I was going to be unsuccessful, but maybe Ms. Campbell can shed some light on that.
Was Ms. Campbell?
She was there.
I've been told that they've never had ad litems present for those interviews. And I was kind of like, I said, well, I didn't know. And she informed me that I should have asked. Like she was very upset with me for not asking. And I was like, why would I? It seemed like a reasonable thing. But we did not get transcripts. I guess the only people that get any type of recording or anything is the investigation, and it is an impact, but they closed the investigation and in regards to reason to believe or anything, it was left as unable to determine. So that's really kind of where it stands, is they're not going any further with charges or anything because they're not able to determine what actually happened.
Who was the alleged perpetrator in that situation, or can y'all tell me?
I don't know that that's appropriate in this setting, Judge, but I will say, just to add to what Stacy was saying, he did outcry. His story is consistent with the other times he has outcried. But unfortunately, based on interviewing others, they, like she said, are unable to determine. So it wasn't ruled out. It wasn't reason to believe. They just felt they didn't have enough to pinpoint exactly what happened.
Does Pegasus know about these incidents?
I
think what you're asking is with a idea that perhaps these were outcries about Pegasus, or at Pegasus. They were not.
No, just things for Pegasus to work with Braxton on this one time a month. It's going to change counseling. I mean, obviously there's allegations of him being victimized, and then other ways that I'm not going to say right now. But, so the young man needs a lot of counseling from multiple directions. And so, and I don't want, And I know why young men go to Pegasus. I got that. But they need to know about the other side too, if they're going to be able to successfully treat him.
Right, and I shouldn't have interjected. I misunderstood. So maybe Ms. Milloway or Ms. Campbell know.
I'm not sure, but yes, I understand what you're saying, and I do believe they are aware. And if not, we will ensure that they are aware, but I'm almost positive they are.
Okay.
May I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think during the interview, the forensic interview that Braxton had, they are aware of any other type of report that was made regarding Braxton. And so as far as Pegasus goes, as far as the counselor goes on that, I don't think that counselor has that type of information. But I do know the investigators from the most recent one, they did have access to those things.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so what I have written down so far is our next permanency hearing is 11/3/25. Parents, as of now, you have to comply with your service plan or your parental rights could be subject to termination. Child is to receive individual counseling 1 time per week and group 2 times per week. Mr. Cooley, we're substituting Natalie Bennett for you, correct?
That's right, Your Honor, and she's here today.
Yes, so Ms. Bennett, we talked and we thought that you would be a good one on this case. You and Ms. Boshears have lots of boys that y'all have dealt with in your lifetime. So y'all will be good for this one. And you know the ins and outs of, other types of law too. CPS is to inform placement and the child's therapists, plural, about the child being a victim. Anybody need anything else?
Can you repeat that, please?
The whole thing?
No, just the last one, the last part.
CPS to inform placement and the child's therapist about the child being a victim. So he can receive, good counseling that way also.
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, we got to work on this, getting more counseling. That's ridiculous.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm serious. If it's not, Miss Bennett, that might be a good thing to stick Miss Boshears on. If he's not getting more counseling, we might want to look at, might need to do some discovery or something to get a copy of the contract with Pegasus to see what they've contracted for, and what they're not providing. Okay, well, good luck. Sounds like your parents y'all will be divorced by the time we see y'all again. Good luck. I hope y'all can get that all worked out and get on with your lives. And hate to hear that, but if that's what y'all want and y'all think that's best, then we're all for it. So good luck, and let's hope Braxton quits doing some silly kid stuff, but he is a silly, boys are boys and kids are kids. So we'll see y'all on 11/3. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused? That's my last case of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Cooley. Thank you.
Same.
Calls him a choo-choo 719 and just a molar child. Okay, so we met a week ago. What's the, I don't know if I want any new news or not. What's up, y'all?
I haven't heard anything from CPU, but I did speak to the new therapist and I had about a 30-minute conversation with her, I believe on Thursday. Or no, it might have been, no, it was actually Monday, right after our last hearing. I went over all the court orders with her, sent her copies of the court orders so that she could have them, for therapy and everything. I actually discussed with her, her office closes at 5. And Noella doesn't get out of school till 4:15, and it's about 30-45 minutes to the therapist's office because they're actually in Bel Air.
Wow, that's not close.
Yeah, so because of that, she's actually going to go see Noella at school, and the school has an area that's completely private. Even if they need to use like the school counselor's office, they're able to. That way
it's guaranteed that, Ebony or anyone else won't be there to be able to listen. It's guaranteed to be private. And then she felt that it would be beneficial to be able to provide that extra assistance to Noella at school if needed. I went over the court orders of her needing to include Sandra, and she was okay with that. And I provided her Sandra's contact information. And she was actually going to reach out to Sandra Tuesday. And then I saw the orders where it had been said that until further notice, we are not including her in therapy. So she is prepared though for whenever that does change and we are to include her in therapy again. She's prepared to reach out, introduce herself to Sandra, go over everything, and then include her once a week, either over the phone or via Zoom or Teams or, whatever. She said whatever's easier for Sandra, it works for her. Nuella has a special education or read meeting tomorrow at 9:30 that I'll be attending on Teams. They'll be going over what accommodations they're going to provide her and getting her set up in special education. And then I believe school starts on Wednesday.
Was the order, Your Honor, that the therapist wasn't going to be able to reach out to Sandra until further notice, or that she was just going to use her discretion to include her into the actual therapy?
What I wrote down is Sandra not involved in therapy until further court order, but I don't think it would hurt her to reach out.
I can let her know. She wants to maintain consistent contact with me at least every other week minimum. So, I can reach out to her and let her know.
A counselor on this case wants to maintain contact with you?
I love this lady just after that conversation. I think she's going to be really good.
Okay, remind me, y'all, I've slept once or twice a little bit since our last hearing. Why did we put Sandra being involved with Nuella's therapy? Why did we put that on pause?
I don't know. And I remember Kim requesting that we not do it right off the bat and give Nuella some time, but I didn't know that it was ordered.
Yeah, well, usually I can remember the reason why we did it too, and I can't remember that.
I think it's because we were fixing to
about
lose her.
placements and all over about placements and where she was going to be.
I think it was partially due to that, and also to give her a couple of sessions on her own with the therapist. The therapist was asking, she felt that Nuella does need a little bit of time on her own in therapy, so she was gonna split the sessions in half the session with Sandra, half of it without.
Well, I think what I'm gonna, unless the Adams have a big fit about it, what I'm gonna say is, so far I have Nuella's counselor to reach out to Sandra and include Sandra at her discretion. What do y'all think?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and Judge, when she gets moved, this therapist, if it has to be a different therapist because of a geographical change as well, this therapist, if she's this good and this communicative, I'm sure she can do a bang-up job of communicating to the new therapist and updating her and getting her all caught up and minimizing any glitches in that transfer.
Right. No, I think so too. I think that's a great call. Okay, Nuella's counselor to reach out to Sandra and include Sandra at the therapist's discretion. Therapist, counselor, I use two different words, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, good. How has Nuella been the last week?
She continues to have no behavioral issues, even with school starting. And I believe that she actually, due to her being over the age of 13, she actually will be participating in her ARD meeting tomorrow. They tend to start what's called transition at her age, where they start discussing what she wants to do in the future. what her plans would look like for that during high school, what she thinks she needs to do versus what she actually has to do for that. And they start working with her on stuff like that.
Are any of y'all going to appear via virtually on the ARD meeting tomorrow?
I'd like an invite so I can, if I can, I will.
I can send it. I just got it. Ebony had just texted me about 30 minutes ago telling me it was tomorrow morning, and I emailed the diagnostician at the school. So I'll email her and forward the invite.
I would like it too, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I think y'all need to go, especially if she's going to be there.
And Your Honor, how does the court and the ad litem's feel about Sandra observing if she is able? Because if she does come back, I think she needs to kind of be on top of some of these issues. And until it's okay with everybody to participate, she can simply just be in the background with her screen off, just listening.
I'm good with that, Judge.
Okay, let me write that down.
And I know Sandra works probably during the times that these happen, so she may not make everyone, but I think they're so few and far between, she may be able to make them.
Okay, I'm gonna say Sandra, excuse me, Sandra can attend ours with screen off. But
the ARD meetings are typically once a year. And this we do move her schools. So we'll have this one tomorrow. They'll set up services, and then whenever we move her, if it's in the state of Texas, they'll have a new ARD within like 30 days. If it's out of state, then they'll have to do a whole new evaluation.
Can you guys forward her the link to participate tomorrow if she's able, knowing that she'll sign in as observer with her screen off?
It's at, yes, and it's at I believe it'll be at 7:30. It will be the time in California. And it'll be 9:30 our time.
I thought we had ARDs every couple of months.
That's for 504. So for IEP plans, you're supposed to only have a meeting once a year unless someone wants it, once the accommodation's updated.
Well, we need to have more than one meeting a year, regardless of what we are. My grandson had them all the time, and he's not 504. He's IEP. I guess
I know when I was doing them at Cove, the only time that we ever did them outside of the once a year is if it was requested by the parent or the teachers or staff.
I think maybe request one, maybe quarterly just to kind of see. But yeah, my son's been on one since pre-K, and we only do it once a year.
Ad litem, don't y'all think ARDs should occur no less than quarterly?
Yes. Especially with her being a year behind now, we really need to keep a closer eye on progress and getting her caught up.
I'm just going to say, no less than 4 per school year, because summers are like, peace out, we're not having any meetings. And I don't want the school to get a pass on that. Okay. Let me look at the last order. Let's see. Placement is agreed, or therapeutic foster home, all info given. That's good. Okay. Well, I think we got good stuff covered. Ad items, y'all need anything else for today? When is our drop dead date for that wonderful CPA?
30 days will be August 24th, but on the paperwork to CPU, I put August 22nd since the 24th is on a weekend. And I was actually going to call the paternal relatives today too about if we can't find placement and looking at seeing if they'd possibly be open to an ICPC if everyone was on board.
On board.
It looks like Sandra is got an opinion about that. You guys may want to follow up with her and some of her concerns. I'm not sure what they are, but
I mean,
she may
I
have more information than.
yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm on board with just an ICPC, just, to check it out for now. But yeah, I mean, but no, obviously no placement or anything without everybody talking to Sandra and all that.
Yeah, and we'd have to do the ICPC first, which can take a few months.
Right. And they're in Washington.
They're
or
in Oregon.
Oregon. I can't remember if they're quick or not.
Well, and I know one of them was licensed. I'm not sure if she is still licensed, so that's one of the things I was going to ask when I did talk to them. And it's not like a guaranteed, hey, I want to do an ICPC on y'all. It was just how they would feel if needed. Because they had previously said they didn't want to be placement, so it was just a, if needed and if everyone agrees, how would y'all feel about us doing an ICPC?
Well, if they're cool with it, I just soon go on and get it started because it's not like it's going to be tomorrow.
Okay.
Ed Adams, what do y'all think?
I would rather have her somewhere where she can get services that she needs. The family has been interested, but they have said they can't handle her behaviors and they're not placement. They just want to be like support.
Yeah, she also said though that if needed, she'd be open to looking at it. So that's the only reason that for an if needed basis, I just wanted to bring up that conversation just to see.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Right now, she's not really ready to go to someplace like that. She's not ready to go to Sandra. She's not ready to go anywhere like that. But getting an ICPC started, and if it gets approved, that at least gives us an option down the road if Sandra isn't an option. And options are good. I like options. So it doesn't hurt anything to get it started. And if a Nuella gets better enough where she can go to Sandra or them, that's great. Then we can all get out of this case and they can go on and live their lives. So let's pave the road. We may not end up using it, but let's go ahead and get that road paved.
Or that road's going to be closed right off the bat anyway.
Right.
So let's get on or get off.
I do have one other request, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Could we get an update from the department on the subpoenas that they served on all the hospitals and get updates on therapy records and everything so we can have a complete record of all her treatment?
So I have gotten nothing. There was one facility that responded and said they would not do it because of HIPAA without court order. I have forwarded the court order from the judge, but have not received any response back as to if that will be sufficient.
Now, it's been a while since I've done medical records for therapy and hospitals and all that, but I think that if they can't get it to you within 30 days, they're supposed to tell you why. And if the other ones have not responded at all, then it was due in 30 days unless they give you that reason. So
the due date was actually, I put September at that time because that was our next date that was scheduled. And it was the next date to make them physically appear if they didn't do it. So they aren't in violation yet.
Okay, what day in September do you remember?
The docket date, so September 8th.
Yeah. Okay.
And we also, I want to know what Nuala is being told as to why she's being moved.
I think she ought to be told that the placement said she had, that the CPA said she had to leave. I mean, is there anything the matter with that?
The truth.
I mean, that's what I think she ought to be told.
I don't want her to be
Because,
told
I mean,
that the items are the cause of it.
Well, and who knows what she's going to be told, but I think it needs to say the CPA said she's out.
I think it will be CPS, probably Myra, that will be the one talking to her about it. She'll be the one doing the change.
Yeah, I can see, I know her therapist was going to try to go to the school, I believe this week, since it's her first week, after school starts, just to see how her first couple days are doing. So I can always see if the therapist can let me join virtually to have that conversation with her. because I'd prefer it to be with her therapist so that she can like get that intervention immediately.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to keep our relationship open.
Does she know that she's leaving right now?
As of last Monday, no, I don't believe the foster parent has told her.
Oh, that's gonna be rough.
I'm putting in here, child to be told CPA requested placement change.
Thank you.
Because that's the truth. Okay, so next, so what I have is New Orleans counselor to reach out to Sandra and include Sandra at therapist discretion. Sandra can attend ARDS with screen off. ARDS recur no less than quarterly. I'm just going to say no less. I'm going to take that quarterly out. I'm going to say ARDS should occur no less than 4 times per school year. Next hearing 9/8/25, ICPC on paternal Oregon relatives. Child to be told CPA requested placement change. Anybody need any other orders?
Your Honor, can your order about Sandra at discretion is fine. I think that was always her intention to be included in her actual therapy, but can she be required to make consistent contact with Sandra and not just that initial contact? And it doesn't have to be every week. It can be every 2 weeks or once a month, whatever the court and the ad items think would be
Didn't
helpful.
she say she wanted to do it every other week?
I think that was going to be her contact with Myra at a minimum, she said. So if she could make contact with Sandra every 2 weeks as well, that would be great.
Therapist to contact Sandra every other week. How's that?
That's great. Thank you.
So sometimes it'll be 3, sometimes it'll be 2. Okay. Miss McClure, Miss Singleton, y'all need anything else? Okay, well, y'all keep me posted. I'll be around between now and the 22nd, I think. Yeah. I have a couple of meetings that I'll be out of town at, but I'm not going like, on vacation or anything. So I'll be around if y'all need me. Okay. Okay, well, good news. And we'll see y'all on 9/8. And I put on my docket sheet, maybe need a little bit more time in case for that day for possible subpoenaed records or the lack thereof. So, okay, well, good reports and we're in recess. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
Bye.